Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I could not wait to get home to talk to you guys. I have this video, this message that I want to share with you all today. You know, I mentioned in one of my videos, and I don't know which one it is, that I've been dealing with some things and my spirit has been really drained, really lagging, really low. And this is just a lot going on in my personal life as well as my professional life. And guys, I haven't shared a lot of things just because, you know, it's just been difficult. I've just been going through a lot. And today I got confirmation on something, guys. You know that feeling that you receive when you are struggling with something and you receive confirmation as to the things you're struggling with and making a decision on something. That can be like an eye-opening experience. It can just bring you so much peace when you receive confirmation. And here's the funny thing about that. I got it through another YouTuber, and guess what? She's probably about 20-25 years my junior. And that's why that saying about, you know, you can learn from a babe or you can learn from other people. It really doesn't matter your age. The message that this young lady put out was all up in my house, guys. It was all up in my house. And I was sitting there like looking at my phone, wondering like, okay, you got a mic or some surveillance equipment in my house or something like that, because how do you know I'm dealing with this? But I'm entitling this message, when you're dealing with self-centered people. Guys, I struggle with a lot of things when it comes to helping people. You know, my purpose in life, when you find out what your divine purpose is and you start to live it out, it can be a struggle because a lot of times it challenges you. It puts you in vulnerable situations. It puts you out of your comfort zone. And I have truly been through all of that. So I really have been dealing with a lot lately. And I kind of shared, I think, a little bit. I don't think I went into details about the fact that I deal with, and I work with, I shouldn't say deal with, I work with a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of personal tragedies, whether it's dealing with the loss of someone they loved or dealing with the feelings of suicide or low self-esteem or homelessness. You know, so I work with a lot of people that are dealing with those issues. So a particular lady that I have been working with on and off, I would say over the course of 5 years, but it hasn't been like every single year. I would say 5 years ago, she came into my life and then she disappeared for like 3, and then she popped up and went away again. And then she popped up recently within the last year. And guys, when I tell you that I put my whole heart into things, and for the last 3 days, guys, I've been receiving confirmation about stuff because I made a decision to pull away from this particular person because of the effect that it was having on my life. And a lot of times when I do things like that, I start to feel guilt later on because I'm feeling, did I do enough? Did I, you know, explore every avenue that was possible to be able to assist this person? Am I being selfish because I decide to make a decision to pull back? You know, and I can literally beat myself up wondering, you know, am I doing what God would help me to do? Because we know that God has us in a place of service. And when we look at the life that his son led living here, a lot of times we feel like we got to be just like him, you know, because we're striving to be all that Christ would have us to be. We're striving to be in the image of God. So in doing that, sometimes I struggle with whether or not I have thrown in the towel too soon, you know, and it can be one of those late night, keep you up all night type of situations. So I got some notes down here that I was jotting down because when I watched her video today, it was truly like study, like class. And I was jotting down things. So if I'm looking down, that's because I'm reading, because I wanted to remember everything that I felt that was helpful to me in this lesson. And so in the scenario, you know, you can be in a situation where you're helping a person, whether it's on a emotional level, or it could actually be physical. And in my case, it was where I was trying to assist this person with finding a job, assist this person in eating every day, being clothed, just their well-being. So when you get that closely involved in someone's life, it can almost be like a mirror. You can get so involved that you're almost that person. You're walking and you're feeling and you're living every aspect of what's going on in their life, and you can take it in, and it's almost as if you are living it. And at that point, when you do that, you start to neglect your own personal life. You start to be so consumed with what is happening with that person that you forget or you neglect to take care of the very person that you're trying to, that you need to be able to assist someone else, and that's you. So in this particular situation, I was doing things to assist this young lady, and it fell apart. It fell completely apart because self-centered people, it's the difference between being selfish and being self-centered, because I found myself becoming selfish, and I'm going to explain that in a moment. But self-centered people never look with, outside of themselves. That's what it really means. A self-centered person is a person that centers everything around them. Everything that happens is about them, for them, because of them, whatever it may be. And they never consider anyone else, because their problems, their situations, whatever is happening is more important than anything that they're dealing with. It's more important than anything that's happening in the world. So you find yourself neglecting your life, whether it's your physical health, it could be consisting of eating right, sleeping right, being involved in family members' lives, people that are really in your life that matter, because you're consumed with making sure they're eating, making sure their well-being is good, and you forgetting that you have other obligations, and that you're neglecting those things that are also just as important as to what you're doing for that person. So you can sometimes, and this is what she said, you adopt their crisis mentality. And their crisis is so important that yours are not, your problems are not. And that's what happened with me. I adopted that person's crisis and brought it into my life. And the thing about a self-centered person, and I learned this through the course of this week, is that they always figure it out, because they always have people lined up. When they come and ask you for something, and this is what I learned, you're not the only person that they asked. They asked several people, so that it's like a domino effect. It just falls down. It's like if they can't get it from you, they're going to go to the next person, and to the next person, and to the next person, and to the next person. And eventually, someone is going to do it for them. So when you're sitting there beating yourself up because you weren't able to do it, or if you did a little bit of something, you feel like it wasn't enough, you're worried about them, but they're going on, because guess what? There's someone there that's going to pick up the slack. So a person that's self-centered is always going to come out on top. And I won't say necessarily come out on top, but they're going to always survive. They're survivors because they've learned the art of manipulation. They've learned how to make sure that whatever they need is taken care of. And you start to take on situations that are bigger than you. And I did, because this person is actually emotionally unstable. They battle with clinical depression / a kind of bipolar behavior. So today they could be very nice to you. They could be very kind, because usually these people are kind of charismatic. They have great personalities that's in the forefront. When they meet you, they are very nice, very kind, and they present themselves in a way that make you feel emotionally attached to them. It makes you feel like you want to help them. And so you can't see that it's a mask. So, a lot of times when you get involved with these people, you only seeing that mask. But when this person allowed me to see who they really were, they were very, very mean. And I know that has to be associated with the depression and bipolar behavior. But when you have given all that you can give to someone and they still can't see that, and you can be right in front of them and explaining, things to them, and they can't see it. All they think about is, I need this, I need that. No one loves me. No one cares. I can't do this. I can't do that. And they're not even seeing the things or being grateful or showing any type of gratitude for what you've already done. That tells you a lot about them. And for this person to actually feel that I owed them something in some way. And I mentioned that, they were homeless. And I had my grandson here recently, and after he left, this person really felt that it was my responsibility that, I bring them into my house. And I actually had brought her into my home 5 years ago and tried to assist her, and realized that it was beyond, my capabilities, it was over my head. It was professional help that she needed, and it wasn't something that I could take on for the fear that this person could be suicidal or, things could happen. And mind you, I only knew this person maybe a couple weeks. And I know a lot of you are probably saying, why would you do that to yourself? But my desire to help people is that strong that I step out on faith sometimes. But I've learned over the course of the week that there are limitations to what you can do, and that you can't always step outside like that. A lot of times when you deal with people, it helps you to identify the weak parts of yourself that allow you to do those things. And there's lessons to be learned and growth. And that was something that this young lady said. And I believe the reason why is because I think about my upbringing, and I think about a lot of things I felt that I was neglected in having. So therefore, I want to give those things to other people, even if I'm not capable of doing it. And it allows me to identify that weakness, because I still struggle with the pain of that. So it lets me know that I haven't totally healed, because I'm still struggling with the fact that those things happen to me. And so therefore, when I see someone else in need of those things, I want to give it to them. And I don't think about a lot of times the safety issues or things that could happen to me. But making a decision this week that I had to allow that person to go on their way, helped me to understand that sometimes there are just things that you can't do. You have to allow God to step in and be in control. And this person departed from my life in a very negative way. They blamed me, for a lot of things, and felt that I was judging them based on their life, and I wasn't. But I couldn't allow them to control my life and allow me to neglect the things that I needed to do for myself to make my life better. So I learned that, and I have nothing but prayer that I can do for this person now, because there's nothing else that I'm able to do or able to give, without sacrificing my life and realizing that I got to take care of me. And that's why I said I'm selfish, just because, if you can't take care of yourself, how can you help someone else? So sometimes you have to be a little selfish in that you have to put yourself first and be whole and healthy, and not allow people that are self-centered to come into your life and to drain the very life out of you. And that's what I learned, that sometimes you have to cut the apron strings. You have to move on. And when you know that you've given your all, you have to make peace with it and allow God to give the increase. Plant the seed, but allow God to give the increase. And that's what I learned from this lesson. So if you're dealing with people in your life that never show gratitude, never thank you, they're just always milking you for more, and they can never acknowledge, that you have done some things, and when it's all said and done, I can see what I've done, And I guess I don't want to ever feel that I'm in a position to brag or say, you know, I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that. But to allow myself to take it in. When I had people sit in my face, and getting a little emotional now, right now too. I had people sit in my face and it was like, Lydia, you did these things. This is what you did. You know, I brought this woman into my company and I actually was able to get her a job. And she walked out of this job with no notice, just left. And my reputation was at stake, you know, and I just could not believe it. You know, a person that I felt I was doing something for because they were homeless, you know, and I learned a great lesson, guys. I learned a really, really great lesson. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of the people you bring into your life and your space. Because I know that was God protecting me. He was protecting me from the 5 years ago, from when I brought her into my home. And I truly know that that season has come and I have to allow that to move on and let God give the increase. And all I have for is prayer. And that's what I told her on her voicemail when I called her. And I said, you know, I'm going to pray for you. And God have mercy on you, because there is nothing else that I can do. So guys, don't be afraid to sometimes put yourself first and allow people to drain the very life out of you. You know, you have to be able to behold and to be able to assist people who are willing to accept that help, and that, you know, you can grow with and benefit from, and lessons for everybody. And this was indeed a lesson for me. But I wanted to share this story with you because I know that there are people out there in my situation, even with family members. You know, you can have friends in your life and family members that can actually drain the very life out of you. And you have to know when to cut it off and when to say no. So I hope this is helpful for someone. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please put it in the comment below. And I know a lot of you are going to be surprised and shocked by this, but you know, it happens, and I had to find peace for myself. So I hope you like this video. Please comment, and as I said before, I won't be redundant. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. And I just want to thank you again for viewing this video. I know it was kind of lengthy. I've been trying to cut them down some, but I felt like this was a video and a message that need to be shared, you know, with anyone who may be dealing with these types of situations. So thank you for watching, and you all have a wonderful evening. Peace and love.